You smell what the flock is cooking. Flock up or flock off, not you. Stick around because it's about to go down. You now flock with the most energetic entity in the Eagleverse, the Eagle Maniac. Here on the Maniac Monday, as per usual, is what we do to you, how we doing this, when we doing this, what we doing around this time, about this time, at this time. Yeah, let's go up the theatrics out of the way. I'm just super hyped, you know what I'm saying, to get into this episode. Just got some good news. Whoa, the watches, you know how I like to do around this time, about this time, at this time. It's always Eagles o'clock around here. The watch is falling off. What we doing over here? So getting a little too crazy, right? Already. So super excited. Just I know this is outside the nest. Got nothing to do with what I'm about to get into, but I'm just excited. Just trying to give you a reason, a look into the eyes, if you will, a step behind the curtain. If you know what I'm picking up, if you're picking up what I'm laying down. We got I'm gonna start trying to get guests on here on this channel with me to flock with me, get down with me, you know what I'm saying? Just interact with other people. If you guys want to hop on, let me know, leave down in the comments your info. And I just want to be more interactive with it. My current setup doesn't quite exactly allow for live streams at this time, even though I'm gonna try and dabble in that too. Just a little bit more interaction with the Eagle Maniac. But enough of that, man. Let's get all that way. Let's talk about what we're talking about today, what we got from this prescription. For y'all maniacs out there, I'm watching the Super Bowl again. 24:05, 22 left to go on the third. I wonder what's going to happen. I'm smacking these matches. Belt to ass all day. BTA. Speaking of Mr. BTA, that's how we're going to get into today. We're going to talk about CJGJ, a little bit of Jaire Alexander, some Keelee Ringo, and this defensive line. I know I've probably talked about this defensive line time and time again over the past weeks, but I'm just super pumped, super excited, super animated, anxious to see what's going to happen with this defensive line and how we're going to build this thing around Jalen Carter and the rest of the guys. So we're going to get into that. Before we get into the end of that, though, let's get the Nets keeping out of the way. Please like and subscribe. If you bought that Fly Eagles Fly, drop a comment in that box. If you're flying with the flock, even if you're not, do remember, join that Maniac thing. Know the game. You hit that bell, you get a ding whenever I'm on this YouTube thing. Let's flock and go. But while that's the Maniac thing, let's keep the main thing the main thing. Hope this video found you in good vibes. Fly Eagle Fly Skies. If you're not there, hope this helps you get there because we about to go there. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, man. CJGJ, Mr. Belter asked himself, he coined the defense this name. I said I was going to get into a little bit of CJGJ last week, but, within the rants and the spinning of the mind of the Eagle Maniac, and that's another dope thing about Riverside. Riverside has captions so you can see what you're saying. I'm not going to have to be looking to it. I'm just super excited about that. Let's stay focused. That's what the therapy's for. CJGJ, I wanted to get into it last week because I wanted to pose the question that, do you think that if the Eagles knew they would be able to offload the amount of money? It wasn't a lot of money, but I'm pretty sure that Jaire Roseman sees the game like 4 years in advance. Like, just what our front office does is beyond amazing. So I'm pretty sure they got this all tapped out, mapped out, and for the foreseeable future. So, but however, just for itches and gishes, I pose the question, do you think that if we knew what we know now, with the Eagles possibly have still held on to CJGJ? We're cleaning the books with Huff. We found a great trade partner. We got a nice little trade back. I believe all parties involved came off pretty fairly. I know everyone's saying, oh, the Eagles face the Niners, because that's what we want to do, flock the Niners. Speaking of the Niners, I really hate the Niners. And I keep telling you, I'm a Knicks fan, but I don't know why I don't hate the Pacers. I hate them when we play them for sure. Like, what the hell? Like, there's so much to dislike on that side, but then there's so much to embrace about the way they ball, man. And you got to give big shout outs to Rick Carlisle, man. He's out there killing it. But as far as the Niners go, hate them no matter what. It doesn't matter. Flock, y'all. Maybe when they suck, and, like, they're down like 1-16 or something in that year when they win 4 games, you're like, look at those guys trying. You know what I mean? So maybe in that extent, you might give them a little love, like a little engine that could, like, sort of like I spoke on this before, like, I believe in like 88, 89, 90, the Bow Boys had this quarterback named Birdline, I believe his name was, and I was like, look at that kid try. You know what I mean? And I just thought, the Bow Boys would suck forever. They did, but they had a little spurt in the like 3-4 year period in the 90s, like they did a little something. But since then, nothing. So they're like right where I want them. They actually pretend to be a little good, and then they completely fall apart. And I love that. However, as far as the CJGJ thing goes and the trade, Huff to the Niners, all parties involved did pretty well. Would we have still held on to CJGJ? And then, you hear things coming out ahead, Thomas Mott and Josh, I forget his last name, on their shows respectively, talking about they've heard things from inside that, they had nothing to do with the salary cap, and there were other things involved with, I imagine, I'm not going to speculate, but you always lean towards that side when it comes to CJGJ, but I had nothing but the players loving them, but I imagine maybe for coaches, maybe a bit of an acquired taste, if you will. But I mean, we can't deny the fact whenever he's here, we get to the damn Super Bowl, and then he's on the. We can't all say it's definitely a part of him, but when he wasn't here, we didn't go. And when Detroit, oh yeah, when he wasn't in Detroit, they didn't get to the NFC Championship. They got into the NFC Championship game with him. Without him, not quite the same results. So I don't know. There may be a little proof in the pudding of what he says as far as like, look what you do with me and look what you do without me. I'm just trying to tell y'all. You feel me? But as far as that goes, whether it's a personality thing or whatever, he's the one that said himself the day after the trade went down or the day of. I believe he went live. He went onto one of these multimedia. What the fuck? Social media whatever. He went to social media. He said what he said. He said, good on the Eagles. It was amicable. Everyone stepped away clean and calm. No vitriol, no anger, no animus between either side. So they just went their separate ways. He said, I want to go to a team that's trying to win. They got him to a team that was trying to win. He also spoke on the money aspect of things, saying, players got to get paid. He understands that. You got to pay the young bulls. You got to pay the young up-and-coming corners, the DeJeans of the world, the Quinyon Mitchells of the world, not to mention the Jalen Carters of the world, the top ticket that we have to take here. We got to get the bread, man, that bread, you heard me? So it sounded like he understood all these things. He said it quite contrite, simply like that. And I believe it's not what Fangio said, it's how Fangio said it. If you're not aware of this, last week Fangio said something along the lines of, they asked him, what do you think about the CJGJ thing? That's a Howie thing. It was a cap thing. They did what they had to do. I'm fine with it. Pretty much the same thing that CJGJ said, except CJGJ said it with a more of a cheerful attitude, spoke more broadly about it, whereas Fangio, that's not his personality. It is what it is. He said what he said, move on. So it's confusing. It's not so much confusing. It's just, you figure someone, and this may be part of the reason why, I hate to say and lean onto that low-hanging fruit, but it might be part of the reason why they did get rid of him, because he's going to get emotional about something like that when they damn near said the same things. So it's like, what are we getting emotional about? You said the same thing. I get it. It's not what you said. It's how you said it. But a man of his maturity level, which it seemed that he has risen to a level of maturity higher than he had before. Not like I know the man at all anyway. He's probably matured this whole time. From the second he stepped out to us, he seemed like a calm dude, just strictly about his business. He taught a lot to our young bulls coming up. And I believe he has a lot to offer to other players coming up. But if it is a money thing, and I can't just see it not being a money thing, because now you're paying two safeties, half of what you pay him. I believe three of the three safeties that we have right now on the staff are getting paid less than him combined. So the money thing is understandable. However, people are saying they know this, they've heard that, this, that, and the third, regardless of what I understand in this current landscape of the availability of social media and getting your word out, getting your point across, getting your side across. I get it. You're going to use that. You're going to take advantage of it. I mean, just because you can't say something doesn't mean you should. I'm not here to Nino anybody, tell nobody what to do, but it's just, I don't know. It's funny to me. It's funny to me. Big shout out to CJGJ and whatever the hell he does, as long as he doesn't do it against us. Thank him for the years that he was here. He is the man. I was shocked both times that he left. We could go on and on. I just wanted to put that out there because I said I was going to speak about it last week, and then he starts dropping. Well, I was going to speak as far as the trade goes last week because I wanted to talk about what do you think would we have done this with the Huff and we've known what we've done with Huff and how how things play out in the draft and what's playing out in free agency. Would we quite possibly have kept stuck with CJGJ as opposed to trading him and trading both him and Huff? Who knows? Whatever. It's all water under the bridge now. We hope nobody burns any bridges, but it seems like he just can't help himself. He's doing it already. And I mean, I can understand people who may be like, yo, Vic, you could have been a little bit smooth, but it's just not his thing. So if I'm going to respect him and that not being his thing, I got to respect CJGJ and that not being his thing. And then another guy that's going mathematics, the dude who's over there in Detroit now. Damn it, man. This grinds my gears, but this is the nature of the beast. Vontae Mathematics with the swat of the Patrick Mahomes pass in the third quarter. It was so good to see him contribute in the championship game. That was a big knockdown. Say they catch that, 27-7. We shaking it up. Well, maybe not you. I don't know about you, but I can speak for me. I'm a crazy, maniacal, sycophantic, out of my mind, losing it type fan over any minor thing. I broke my wall after a win. First game of the season, mind you. And I still gotta fix that. Y'all gotta see the picture of it. It's cracking me up. But she doesn't know. So you got that going on, CJGJ, and the gist of it all, man. Like I said, if I'm gonna look at Vic and say, that's just Vic being Vic, I've gotta be able to look at CJGJ and say that's just CJGJ being CJGJ CD Deuce. And I'll always love what we had in swing back. Chance to the flock. So we got that, and then next, we're going to stay in the defensive backfield and talk a little bit about Jaire Alexander. I had a doctor's appointment earlier this morning. While I'm there, I top on the Joey Shakes. Joey Shakes is talking about Jaire Alexander. Then I start getting updates and releases, and then not just release notifications. Then next thing you know, I hear that Jaire Alexander was released by the Cappers. I like that kind of better. The Cappers. Yeah, flock them, man. I like what not Money Mike. Philly Mike, I like what Philly Mike had to say about him. He said, instead of calling people bands, we're going to call them Packers now from now on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like pants, bands, and all kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Packers. They let go of Jaire Alexander, and I believe they've been going through contract disputes for quite some time now. And finally, they just, ripped the Band-Aid off, said, what we got is good enough, and we're going to move on from here. I know he's experienced a lot of injuries over the past few years. If I recall correctly, I don't think he's really played a full season in quite some time. But I could be wrong about that. I don't follow them the way I follow us, so I don't want to be one of them dudes. I don't want to be like out here just Stephen A-ing it and just saying whatever comes to my mind. But that's really what I do, and that's what we're here for. This is therapy. I got to get it off my chest, get it off my neck, get it off the top of my neck. You feel me? So Jaire Alexander. So then after that, not Maniac Jr. Mega Maniac texts me. Jaire Alexander released. So it's just probably coming from all angles, right? And then he goes, imagine, the Bears could do something real funny with this. I'm like, the Bears, like, why not us? Why not the Birds? And then that leads us into Keelee Ringo. So Jaire and Keelee Ringo kind of fall into the same tree, the same stanza, the same paragraph, the same section of this video, right? So, I would love to Jaire Alexander having a veteran presence in that defensive backfield. I had people talking to Jalen Ramsey, and the Jalen Ramsey aspect of it all is like, I'm kind of good on that. Like, I, figured when Matt Patricia and Darius Slay, had a reunion and all that, and everyone's being businesslike. I don't know what it was, but we were just not the same. You just got to put a little drop of poison in your system to flock it all up. You feel me? So even if they push something to the side, you may forgive, but you don't forget. And there's residue. There's always residue with anything. So it's just, I don't think it's a good look. Like, why? With all the talent in the world, I could bust 100 different analogies on this. The dagger. What? Whoa! Every time I see it, it's like the first time I saw it. It's so fucking good. So you've got that, and I just said, there's so many other fish in the sea per se. Pause. I don't know, but there's other places to pick from. Like, we don't have to force it, especially with the team that we have, the synergy that we have, the chemistry that we have, the community that we have in this locker room. Like, why even do that? And I'm not saying, please, what? Jalen Ramsey alone? Of course, what is it? This dude is locked down, shut down, can turnover machine. He does it all, right? So I would definitely be with it, but why do that? So then you look at a Jaire Alexander as a veteran presence, but not to mention Adoree Jackson, I believe fulfills that role to a certain extent right now. So I'm pushing against myself, but this is why I must talk it out, get it out the system. And Jaire Alexander, it's just after I said why not us, I'm like, but why? If whatever they feel is right, if he's a Vic Fangio guy, Vic Fangio sees him as the type of guy that he wants in his system that he thinks he can do great things with, by all means, go out there and get Jaire Alexander. But I've also want to give Keelee Ringo this chance, not to mention it bodes well for our cap space. I know it's not my money. Some of us fans talk about it like, it's limitless. Get whatever you want, wherever you want, whenever you want, all the time. I'm one of those fans that actually thinks fiscally responsible for whatever reason. Like, they seem to know what they're doing at all times. And like, dude, they're trying to change rules because of what Howie Roseman does with this cap. So making it seem non-existent, so I can understand how certain Eagles fans could be a bit spoiled. Not in a bad way, we coming at nobody, I'm saying? We the flock, you feel me? Eagle Nation, Bird Gang, and all them things, right? But yeah, I would much rather give Keelee Ringo the chance. It's fiscally responsible, we're controlling the cap, cash, and all kinds of things. Not to mention he is a genetic freak. We heard, I just said his damn name. Dude just picked up the cornerback from the Giants. God damn it. We heard him say as much. Keelee Ringo is a damn genetic freak. As far as you look at the measurables on this dude, he's tall, he's long paws, he's fast, he's flock, and ready to do the damn thing. So I want to, and he sounds, it sounds like the game is slowed down from him. And when you hear Vic Fangio speak of him, he's just saying he just needs reps, just needs to practice. And you heard him say way less about other guys. It's almost like a check of approval when he actually wants to give you the reps in practice. He knows that's what's going to make you better. Then he's going to give you those reps. And it seems like they've been doing as much during this mini camp already. He says the same thing about Jalen Carter. So if you're saying these things, saying the same thing about guys, yeah, it was just stupid. I'm like, how are we even giving up these passes? It's 34 zip, and I'm still over here pissed, and I know who won the game. So you've got Keelee Ringo, who I want to give a chance to, and like I said, when you're using the same adjectives or superlatives, whatever the case may be, for we already know Jalen Carter's great, and we want Keelee Ringo to be great, and he's talking about them in the same vein. Pretty much, at least in my estimation of outside looking in, I think it bodes very well for Keelee Ringo and his prospects of him getting the time that he needs to become what we think like that backfield, that defense is just young as hell, bro, and it feels so good to see the development, and I just trust all of these coaches in that room, man. If I could just peel back the onion and understand the inner workings of that, like a fly on the wall, like how are these guys being taught, how they're being developed, dude. It just seems like whatever they do works wherever they've been, and like we've seen them develop great defenses over there in Denver. You kind of tend to wonder why things may not have worked down there in Miami, and people are talking about the players and all that, and I try to lean back from that, not calling anybody soft, like whatever may be going on. I feel like, and with this unit, with the Clint Hurts of the world and the Christian Parks of the world, Vic Fangio has the mouthpieces he needs to dispatch his message to the team better than possibly he could. You know what I mean? Some people are just about business. Some people ain't with that. You want to come to a workplace, you want to get a little rapport going. Vic is like, do the shit. Like, excuse my language. But you feel me? Do what we need you to do. Yeah, that was crazy, man. I don't know how CJGJ let that one get through. That's why he might have gotten chill. But he was mad at himself. He was ODPO'd at himself for letting that first touchdown up. And it because these boys, I know they wanted to keep that thing a donut. That thing popped out too. What they talking about? That thing hit the floor, man. Flock out of here. But I say all that to say, over here, I think it's what we need. We got the right coaches and the right people in place to get Keelee Ringo where he needs to be. At least that's what I'm hoping. But I'm pretty sure, I believe this roster is far from being complete. There's a lot of time left to go. I believe, we're around 80, 85 days left to the season. It's coming up. I got to start sending out these invites. I might start doing that after this video, man. Let me know down in the comments if you want to start an Eagle Maniac fantasy league, anything like that. And we got that. And then from that part of the defense, we're going to go into the front side of the defense. And like I said, I'm enamored with what could possibly happen with this defensive line. We're looking at the guys. We're hearing Jordan Davis. We're hearing Vic Fangio. Speaking of Vic Fangio, this is really the Vic Fangio section. We're hearing him say great things. Yeah, I'm still trying to remember the name. I don't give a damn. I got to look this up before I lose my damn mind. Eagles, yeah. Bear with me for a second, y'all, man. Bear with me for a second. Philadelphia Eagles roster. What the flock was that? What is his name? This is so bad for business. This is fast forward, dudes, if y'all ain't with it. Oh my gosh. Give me the roster, bro. Team. Where the CB's depth chart? We can see a depth chart already? Ain't no way. Keelan Robinson, what y'all guys think about that? You think you're going to step up, be something for real? Adeji. Transactions. Just give me the damn roster, man. I know you ain't have no depth chart. Why would you even let me push that button, dude? Like, roster, Barkley. I just want to see B's. Can we go by position, bro? Damn, fam. Well, it's only 90 guys, right? Don't you guys want to talk about all of them? I can talk about all of them all day, man. It's kind of like my thing, man. When it comes to the Eagles, I tell everybody, man, it's like Pokemon, bro. I got to catch them all. What does that even mean, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, even old Eagles, Jahan Dotson, what you think homeboy's going to do this year? When I see this name, and I used to love this dude on Tennessee, man, all along his career. Dory Jackson, damn it, man. I did it yesterday with my boy, freaking OG fan Dan. Yeah, Dory Jackson. So Dory Jackson could be that veteran presence that we need. We may not even have to go outside, you know what I'm saying? grab purse strings, pull out any cash, extra dough for any other schmo in the league. We could just go with what we got right here, Dory Jackson. But like I said, I feel like this roster is far from done with all the days left in the offseason and the things that we could do. But then you hear Vic Fangio talking about other guys on his defensive line in the same press conference last week and his media availability. Jordan Davis talking about the last 8 games. And, you could just tell with a guy like Vic, and I know it's going to become a broken record. I believe I've heard every Eagle content creator say when you hear Vic talk about you and he offers something up, it's with reason. I don't know if it's that he, knows what he's doing. This is just subconscious thing. Like it's a guy that, kind of like, hey, yeah. And I hate the way he talks about Sidney Brown. I really want that kid to get the shot, but you never know what happens or what could happen or what he may show in practice. He's just one of them dudes like, if you ain't here, you're not here. Object permanence, out of sight, out of mind. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I can't evaluate what's not being done. So move on to the next thing. Why waste mind space? Why waste energy on something that I can't improve upon without them being here? Well wishes to you. You know what I'm saying? Get well soon. Okay, so shout out to the 520 podcast too, man. It cracks me if I can't stand them. Indiana, so you got that going on. So and then him speaking about Jordan Davis and speaking about the last 7 games of last season and saying that he said he improved, he got better for real. I'm paraphrasing to a certain extent, but I believe he did at for real at the end. He really got better, type of deal. So you hear that about Jordan Davis, and we feel like we already know what we can expect from Jalen Carter, like a dude who barely came off the field last season, and now you're hearing that Jordan Davis is getting himself in shape. He's falling in love with the Peloton and, getting that sweat equity out of the game. He's seeing what comes from putting in the rewards of what gets taking out what you put. What the fuck? I'm tripping on a Maniac Monday. Ooh, y'all can tell I needed this, man. I'm just feeling good. The defense simply has got me excited. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to see what they do over there. Jordan Davis looking damn good, looking in shape, putting in that sweat equity, getting in what he gets, putting in what he wants to get out of the game. I'm trying to make it work. Still don't got it right. But I can't wait to see it, not to mention, with Jalen Carter, and this is our 3rd-year guy, like acting like a vet. We're acting like what he says is like it's like he's excited about Tyler Robinson. So if he's excited, we're excited. But it's also reminiscent of how when he was coming up and you heard guys like Jordan Davis speaking on him and slaying the vets talking the offensive lineman like, oh, the dude is a beast. And they're saying this dude hasn't even scratched the surface and he knows that his subset. He doesn't even know. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Oh, we can't wait to see how he does in this offseason and what's to come for Jeremiah Trotter. But that's the back end. We're talking about the front end, right? So Jeremiah Trotter's talking about Jeremiah Trotter Sr. It's like, yo, he's heard, imagine from his son or probably the coach, is like, he hasn't even scratched the surface. He doesn't even really know no football yet. So let that settle in, y'all. Like, it's about to be real stupid out here. I just can't wait. And not to mention guys behind him. I saw a video. I believe they were breaking down the measurables of Moro Ojomo. I've always been a big supporter of him, much like I was with Mill Will. Something about those guys, those late round guys that we find. Like, I was definitely a Ridgeland guy. Vinny Curry, of course, but he was on the end. It's a few other dudes that we had up the middle. Timmy Jernigan, you know what I mean? It's just something about the other guys, like the guys next to the guy. You know what I mean? We always find great co-Ds, co-defendants, Robins to these Batmen, right? So Moro Ojomo is just another guy in that vein, and they're saying I'm hearing things like people, but I mean, albeit it's just people speculation and these are opinions, but people thinking and much like me hoping that he could be better than Millwall, and I hold Millwall to such a high regard. It feels hard for me to even say that, to say it yet. Like I'm not sure if he's on Millwall level. I've loved Millwall's game since he got here. I mean, since he got drafted. But since I saw him on the field for us, you always saw something that was there. You saw the pressure that he put on the quarterback. Not to mention he was not a slouch in the run defense even. Not the greatest, but was not a slouch. He could do the damn thing. And I'm not even going to talk about his future and what may happen over there because you feel like you got to build him. You got to break somebody down after you build him. Nah, not going to play that game right here. Millwall, tried and true Eagle forever in my eyes until he comes and plays us and touches my quarterback. Like, hit the back the flock up. But now, Millwall was the man, and hopefully more Ojomo can fill those shoes similarly, if not better, because those are the hopes. And I mean, when you look at his measurables, bro, it's crazy. Not to mention his PFF grades as far as, the snaps that he did play. We haven't seen him in with much volume because we see how that can be turned on its head once a guy is given more snaps. But I can't wait to see how more Ojomo pans out. You got the Tyler Robinsons of the world, Jordan Davis, a bunch of other dudes. I'm glad I pulled this up, as a matter of fact. We're We got some dogs over here, man. We got some dogs. And then there's guys I don't know was injured last year. Do we still have the line, dude? Oh man, forget. Look right there, Merle Oljamo up there. We talking about guys, Ty Robinson. Who else? Can y'all believe it? Brett Toff is back again, man. That dude stays with the Eagles. Byron Young. Oh, yeah. And then my boy Booker, you know. So there's guys. There's guys on that defensive line. That troop that we have as far as the interior defensive linemen go. I know you guys like, wait, what about the defensive ends? I kind of put them in a different area. I'm just talking about the interior defensive linemen and what we have there and what we could build upon. And with the tutelage of your boy Clint Hurt, who... You ever seen Jordan Davis stand next to Clint Hurt? And Clint Hurt is a behemoth of a man, bro. And Jordan Davis makes him look like a fucking Oompa Loompa, bro. It's freaking ridiculous. That may be a bit far-fetched, a little bit hyperbole for effect, but I mean, it's amazing. And it's the size that we have in that part of the line, the interior defensive lineman, not to mention the skill and the speed that we have over there, man. Just some great things to come with this defense. I can't wait to see. Can't wait for these 85 days to fly by, even though that means our summer's over, man. But, I mean, I'm not a kid anymore. It used to, like, drive me crazy. Like, dude, you're wishing for the summer to be over. I don't give a fuck. Football is life. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, it's kind of crazy. But till the next time, make sure the best time. In the meantime, between time, keep it the green time. I just had to show you what I was saying around this time. You heard me? But, you know how I like to do around this time, about this time, at this time. It's always Eagles o'clock around here. Open your eagle eye, poke your beak, and give it a and ask these questions. What you gonna do when Eagle Mania swoops down and runs the brotherly shuffle on you snitch pan bands? You heard me? Let's like go. Say it with me one time, man. EAGLES. Eagles. Let's flock and go. You already know. Get the fuck out of here, champion.